about the identification check for all property owners. And there's a lot of agents who believe it's just for residential properties when you're selling. Incorrect. That is a myth. Clause 4.1 of the Supervision Guidelines, and I have it here and I'm going to read it word for word for you. And it is under the title of Identification Check for the Purposes of Fraud Prevention, okay? Out of the Supervision Guidelines, 4.1. A principal licensee must prepare and maintain written procedures for the verification of the identity of a party with whom it is proposed to enter an agency agreement. That's any agency agreement. So let's go. That's residential, commercial, industrial, retail, rural, business. So that all comes into play there in terms of every agency agreement that you are entering into. You need to have. Now, this differs on all types of. A lot of commercial people, the properties will be owned by the landlord, or the vendor may well be a corporation. So, then you need to find out who the directors are, you need to get documentation to back that up, and you need to get guarantees, and you need to get the identity of the person who is signing the agency agreement on behalf of that corporate entity. There's extra steps that you need to follow when you're taking this practice. The best, yes, you could just write it all down, but there is the easiest way to do it, and I've talked about it many times before. Get onto the Fair Trading website, download the identification checklist for fraud prevention off the website. Super easy. And, I've had a question, as recently as today, about do you need one for every vendor? Well, look, it doesn't say anywhere that you need a separate page for every vendor, but there's not enough room on the page to make it really clear which vendor the identification relates to. If you can make that fit, great. That's, good for you. But look, the easiest way to do it would be get a page for each. If you've got two people owning the property on title, then get 2 pages out. If you're doing it online, fantastic. So because there's 3 sections on the fraud, on the identity checklist. And, the first section is about the primary proof of identity. The second one is about the secondary proof of identity, for which you need to have 2 different forms of identity check. And the third one is about proof of ownership of the property. Now, when you look at what primary proof is, well, it's photo ID. It's a current Australian driver's licence. It's a current photo card. If somebody doesn't have a driver's licence, it's a photo card. It's a current or non-current Australian passport. Secondary proof of identity, Medicare card, a credit card, a current passbook, an account statement, an electoral enrolment card, which we should all know where they are, with an state election coming on the 25th of this month. A gas, electricity, or some type of council rates or a utility bill, water rates notice that's not more than a year old. They're all the points that fit into, and you need 2 of those. And then the third one, the proof of identity, it says certificate of title. Well, they're not on paper anymore, so you're probably not going to get one of those. The best thing there would be the current council rates that's not more than a year old. So, really, really simple sort of process. Fill in the form. You do not need to, the form is very clear. You need to cite the document. You need to write down the document number for the principal photo ID that is part 1 of the form. So, and I'd be not writing down somebody's actual license number. There is a document or a card number on a driver's license. I'd be taking that one. It's not the type of information you want to keep on your system. So really simple, put the document or the card number down, whether they're showing you that on their phone or whether they're showing it to you on, the hard copy driver's license, or if they're holding it up if you're doing an online meeting with them about their property and they're showing you their driver's license. There's a photo, they're in front of the camera, and they're holding that up right up to the camera going, there you go, there's my photo ID. And whether that's on their phone or a hard copy of it, has a document number on it. Scroll down on your phone and you'll see the document number right down the bottom left of the screenshot that has your driver's license on it. So super easy there. The rest of it, you just need to attest that you have cited the documents, not kept copies of it. We're all talking about privacy and cybersecurity and CPD this year. So with that in the back of your mind, you don't want to keep copies of this on your system. You don't want to be walking around town with hundreds of driver's licenses, other people's driver's licenses, as photos in your phone. It's not safe. So 1, make sure you're doing it for every type of agency agreement that you're signing, and 2, make sure that you are citing the documents, not keeping copies of it on your system or on your phone or anywhere else.